welcome to Everything Pro Wrestling. Everything Pro Wrestling is a show by the fans, for the fans. And I am your host, Conrad Cushman, and we are here today to talk about Ring of Honor Final Battle 2018. What an amazing show, guys. I just finished watching it, and we're just going to review each match, go through it real quick, and I'm going to do this as fast as I can, but try and go in depth as well because I have work in the morning. But if this is your first time watching me, do me a favor, make sure you click the like button, and also if you are a pro wrestling fan, do me a favor and click subscribe below. We are trying to get to that 1K, so each subscriber helps. Let's get right into this now. So we get to our first match. We have Kenny King versus Eli Isom. I believe that's how you say it, or Isom. And I watched a special about Eli right before this. I don't remember if it took place on one of the Ring of Honor shows or on social media, but I watched his story and it was very interesting to me about his mother passing away, and very sad, but it got me into his character and I was rooting for the kid. Like, what bad could you say about him after watching that? If you guys get a chance, go on social media and look up the video for him. Amazing. So the storyline for this match was, it was a veteran versus a rookie. Kenny King being the veteran now. Crazy to think about that because I once watched Kenny King on Tough Enough, and Eli was the rookie. Really decent back and forth match. I think that Eli has a lot of promise for Ring of Honor. He is someone who I can see being the future of it if he plays his cards right. And I think that this looks like a tremendous kid, and I think he'll do a lot of big things for Ring of Honor, so you can mark it now. In the end, Kenny King wins with the Royal Flush, 1, 2, 3. Decent match, everything I expected it to be, but I enjoyed it. And once again, guys, I know I'm recording this live and I'm streaming it, so if you are in the chat, feel free to say something and I'll read whatever your comments are. I know I got one person watching at least right now. We get to our next match. It is for the Ring of Honor television title. We have Jeff Cobb, who is the champion, versus Adam Hangman Page. And this was an amazing match. This got the New York City crowd hyped. And I would like to say that this is my sleeper match of the night. Like, this was truly amazing. So, Jeff Cobb and Adam Hangman Page. The first amazing thing I have written down here is Cobb catches Page from a shooting star press off the apron. That's an amazing spot. Jeff Cobb's strength is ridiculous. And also his athleticism is something else I wanted to talk about. Like, Cobb is obviously an amazing athlete when you look at him. And you expect him just to be like a powerhouse, especially if you watch his work on Lucha Underground as Matanza. Jeff Cobb is the perfect man right now to be the Ring of Honor television champion. So he's in the ring and I see him doing all these flips, and Cobb is just amazing. Nothing else to say about it. And that's not to take anything from Adam Hangman Page, because I think he's one of the most improved wrestlers this year. I remember him as Adam Page, and I really thought he's okay. Hey, what's going on, Nolara? I thought that Adam Hangman Page was someone who was, pretty decent. But all in all, this guy is truly amazing. Like, Adam Page is one of the most improved, like I said. And the one thing I noticed with this is the Elite is over. The crowd was going crazy for these guys all night. And then the match ends basically with, and I used the quote from the announcers in the match, 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 2 Tour of Islands for the victory, 1, 2, 3. Jeff Cobb retains his television title. Excellent show. Excellent match. Very good. I gave it a grade of a B, and I'm sorry, and Kenny King and Eli Isom I gave a C. We get to match number 3. We had the Woman of Honor title match. It was a 4-way with Karen Q, Madison, Rayne, Kelly Klein, and Sumie Sakai. Or I'm sorry, did I say it right? Sakai, excuse me. Robert would have killed me if you heard me say that. Karen Q was the first one eliminated in this match by Kelly Klein. I haven't seen a lot of Karen Q, so she did pretty good though. Madison Rayne was in this match. I like Madison Rayne for the person that she is. I'm not sure if she belongs in these matches, as we said on the preview, but I will say that she exceeded my expectations in this match, and Madison Rayne is getting better as a performer, so kudos to her for that. Hey, what's going on, KC Classic? What's happening, brother? We're just talking about Ring of Honor Final Battle that just went off the air. So right now we are on the third match, which is the women's four-way. Madison Rayne is eliminated by a stolen pen by Klein. Cool. So we get down to the final two. It's Sumie and Klein. They're going back and forth at it, and she hits her Death Valley driver, and she hits the K-Power is what she calls it, and Sumie kicks out. Everyone's in shock. But it's the Woman of Honor champion. I don't know what everyone expected. So eventually, off the top rope, we see that same. It looks like a Death Valley driver when I'm talking about the K-Power. A Death Valley driver off the top. 1, 2, 3. We have a new Woman of Honor champion in Klein. I gave it a grade of a C. It was an okay four-way. Like I said, it could have been way worse, but with the talent in there, they did what I expected them to do. Very good match. We get to match 4 on the card. What's going on, everybody? If you guys write stuff in the chat, let me know. If you guys have feedback on any of the matches, I will talk about it, and I will bring it up. So feel free. Match 4, we have Jonathan Gresham, the Octopus, versus Zack Sabre Jr., or as I like to call him, ZSJ. This match was really good. This was a catcher's catch-can wrestling match. Pure pro wrestling. It made me think that Ring of Honor should think about bringing back the pure Ring of Honor title, in my opinion. Just a thought I had in the back of my mind. But these guys showed fire, tenacity, and I think we're going to see a rematch between these two after this because they had chemistry. So it's a pure wrestling match. There was no code of honor by Zack Sabre Jr., so it's kind of weird to see him sometimes as a babyface, as I first was initially introduced to him, to see him as a heel now. But you know what? Zack Sabre Jr. does it all, and Zack Sabre Jr. picks up the win with a bridge pen, 1, 2, 3. Great wrestling match. Shows what Ring of Honor was about since 2002. I like it, so thumbs up for them. I gave it a grade of a B- for that match. Now we get to match number 5 on the card. We have the real Ring of Honor champion, Matt Taven, versus Dalton Castle, and he was accompanied to the ring with the boys. Now, I wanted to talk about some stuff off of this match, which was Dalton Castle still seems beat up from those back injuries. I went to a live Ring of Honor show in Buffalo, New York, and Dalton Castle, I don't know if he should be out there, man. I hope he's healed all the way, because I don't want to see this guy injure himself further and end his career. He's only 32 years old, I believe, and Dalton Castle is someone that Ring of Honor can rely on in the future, and I just don't know if it's worth it for him to wrestle some of these matches with the back brace on and everything else. I don't know. It just doesn't look right. Maybe they should look at getting him new ring gear. I don't know. Matt Taven, I'm not feeling his gimmick still. I said that at the live event review. I don't know what it is about this Matt Taven, but I don't know. It reminds me of Sanity, kind of, and I'm just like, when it comes to that. I'm going to write what's up to everybody here in the chat. Let me help them out with that. All right. So we get to this match. There's a scary spot early on in the beginning. So Dalton Castle's thrown to the outside, and Matt Taven dives to the outside. I'm not joking, guys. So he does a suicide dive, and Matt Taven, luckily it was his chest and not like his throat, but his chest landed perfectly across that barricade. And as someone said, that man has to have guts, because he got up after that and just continued wrestling the match like nothing had happened. Matt Taven, thumbs up to you, man. Excellent. Let's see here. So there's a near fall after being hit by the title by Taven. So Dalton Castle kicks out of a pinfall after being hit with the belt. I saw a cool spot on the outside where he did the bangerang, his finisher, Dalton Castle, into the ring post with Matt Taven. Very cool. Matt Taven's goons threw the boys into the ring. They basically got beat up on the outside. And he ended up throwing them into the ring and breaking up pinfalls with them. And his guys get sent to the back for it. The match ends, though, when Taven hits the climax. And great effort by both guys. I gave it a C+, but the effort was top-notch due to what both guys were probably dealing with. I have to assume Taven was hurt really bad from the dive. You got Dalton Castle with the back brace on there, so kudos to both guys. I know I kind of crapped on or poo-pooed on Matt Taven, but he did a really good job. Next up, we get to the number one contendership match, which is on the line. We have Christopher Daniels versus the villain, Marty Scrull. At 48 years old, Christopher Daniels is still freaking good. The guy has talent. I don't know. Christopher Daniels, I wrote this on Twitter. He is the most underappreciated pro wrestler, I think. He's got to be in the top ones of all time. Christopher Daniels has been wrestling for a long time. Many people don't know he competed in WWF in 1998 in the light heavyweight division. TNA, I felt crapped on him. Never really gave this guy the run that he deserved. I always felt like it was AJ Joe, and then Daniels was always like the bronze medal. Never got treated right. But Daniels is the man. We get a decent back and forth match with this. Once again, the elite is over. These people loved Marty Scrull, and their chance showed it. The fans, in the end, watched, and there was a lot of back and forth action, and then Christopher Daniels gets locked into the chicken wing. And the tease of this match was, if Daniels doesn't win this, he's going to be retired. And he tapped out to the chicken wing to Marty Scrull. Overall grade at B-. It was really sad. You get chants of, thank you, Daniels, SCU, thank you, So people are doing all of that. And then who comes out? Bully Ray, and he hits Daniels with a low blow. And basically it's just a douchebag. And then F you Bully chants came up, and they didn't say F you. This is New York City. They weren't playing around. Just terrible. And it leads right into the next match, which was the I Quit match with Bully Ray and Flip Gordon. You get chance for Flip to come out. Flip Gordon comes out with the American flag and his tactical gear on. This is a fight. Flip Gordon ends up bleeding from his forehead at some point in the match. And you can go through all of this. You know what's happened on the outside. They're throwing each other into the barricades. It's a fight. But I want to talk about the ending. And I know it's going to get super convoluted, but just try to follow me here. And I'm going to read this off my notes. So I have Bully Ray threatens to powerbomb Flip's girlfriend who's in the crowd. And he's doing that to attempt Flip to quit. So he's teasing like, I will powerbomb her if you don't quit. What happens is Kerry Silken, who is ringside, ends up getting up and hitting Bully Ray in the back with a kendo stick. When he is distracted by that, as he's going to beat up Kerry Silken, Flip's girlfriend hits a low blow on Bully Ray. Flip then uses his American flag, which was disguised as a kendo stick, and hits Bully Ray with it, puts him in an STF with the flag across his face, and tries to make him tap. Silas Young then comes out and interferes on behalf of Bully Ray, and he goes to beat the crap out of him. A table set up in the ring, and Silas Young douses it with lighter fluid. And then Colt Cabana runs from ringside. He's on commentary. He runs all the way down to go help. Silas Young ends up taking him out, I believe, with a chair. Colt Cabana gets taken out. And then I think he hit him with a finisher, too, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. But Colt Cabana's out. And then Bully Ray's getting ready to set up. Silas Young pulls out a lighter. And he has it lit. And he's about to put it to the table. Then, classic ECW Hammerstein Ballroom. The lights go out. Fans are wondering what's happening, who's there. And then all of a sudden, the lights come back on, and you see the Sandman with the kendo stick. Busts out a beer, drinks the beer, pounds it on his head. The fans are going crazy for it. He canes Silas Young out of this ring. And then he gives Flip Gordon the other cane. And with two canes, Flip Gordon is beating the crap out of Bully Ray. And Bully Ray quits. Fun match. After the match, I think he has a beer with the Sandman. Exactly what you expected to see for that match. I loved it. I thought it was very enjoyable. No complaints about that. Overall, I gave it a C+, but it was a fun match. It was fun. I don't know. I don't hate stuff like that. It's very difficult for you to ruin it, and it was a little convoluted, overbooked, sure, but it was an I Quit match. You needed something like that on here. Match 8, the Ring of Honor Championship, Jay Lethal versus Cody Rhodes with Brandi. Early on in the match, this SOB Cody Rhodes fakes a knee injury, and I was there in Buffalo when he tore his meniscus or whatever he did. Cody Rhodes faked a knee injury, and when he did that baseball slide, I actually thought he was hurt for a second, so he got me. So, Cody, job well done. Jay Lethal works over Cody's knee for most of the match. This is just a classic wrestling match, like Ric Flair style. And Lethal actually kicked out of 2 crossroads while they were going back and forth in this match. Pretty cool to see. Jay Lethal kicks out. I also think he kicked out of a vertebreaker too. Lethal ends up winning though with the figure 4 leg lock, and Cody Rhodes taps out. Brandi accidentally speared Cody with her bionic shoulder that she had injured. Classic stuff. And then, then the figure 4 was locked on and he tapped out. Grade for this match, B-. Nothing too bad, but what I expected out of these two for a main event caliber match. So Marty Scrull shows up, and he comes out there, and he's out there. Basically, he's the number 1 contender. He's basically letting Jay Lethal know, I'm coming for your belt, and I'm going to win it. Cool. But then after that, Cody Rhodes is walking up the ramp, and the NWA champion walks past him. And I thought this was weird booking because why wouldn't Cody say something or attack him? Because they had the feud over the belt. Didn't make sense to me. But Nick Aldis comes out as well, and I think we're going to see a champion versus champion match before we get to that Marty Scurll match with the NWA champ versus the Ring of Honor champ. Probably be a pretty cool match. I think that we'll see some classic matchups here with Jay Lethal with these two. So I look forward to both of them, and Jay Lethal is slowly approaching his total time as Ring of Honor champ, going past Samoa Joe. And we get to the last match, Ladder War. We had SCU versus the Briscoes versus the Young Bucks. Grade A- for this match off the rip, because I can't tell you anything, because in my show notes all I have is crazy match written down. I was too busy watching it. There were back body drops through tables, people threatening to hit people with sledgehammers, staple guns to their heads. The Briscoes are bleeding like crazy. Kazarian looks like he almost hurt himself on a couple of these moves. It was just an amazing match. These guys put their body on the line, and that's what pro wrestling's all about. Make sure you respect these guys when they're out there doing that stuff for you guys. It was a fun match, but in the end, the Briscoes win when Jay Briscoe and I can't remember who the other person climbing was. I may have been one of the Bucks. Are climbing up with them, whoever it was on the other side, and Mark Briscoe threw a chair, and that allowed Jay Briscoe to grab both the belts with a crimson mask, and the Briscoes are once again your Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. Shout out to my boys, the Briscoes, because they are now a 10-time Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. Unbelievable match. I would highly recommend you go back and see it, or at least check out the highlights for the Ladder Wars match. It's the match of the night. It's hard to compete with that when they have all the gimmicks in the ring. From ladders, they had tables, chairs, and everything else. But a very fun match. And just as I predicted with a lot of the elite guys, I didn't predict any of them to win, even though they were in title matches, due to the fact of all of them except for Marty are out of Ring of Honor now. Their contracts are up. What does that lead to? What's going to happen with them? I don't know. I think that this All Elite Wrestling is going to play a very key part in what happens with the Briscoes. Or I'm sorry, not the Briscoes. The Elite in the future. A lot of those guys, there's rumors that they're starting up AEW, All Elite Wrestling. It should be very significant, guys. I don't know what's going to happen with this. I'm very interested to get everyone's thoughts in the comment section down below on this show. What did you guys think of the show? Was it a great show? My overall grade for it was a B. Everything, all that stuff's going to be in the description box, along with links and stuff for you guys to click if you want to join Everything Pro Wrestling on Facebook, Twitter, anything else. What do you guys think of this overall event? Do you have high hopes for Ring of Honor going into 2019, or do you think Ring of Honor is doomed Are Ring of Honor going to join up? Are they going to acquire more talent? What do you guys think of wrestling heading into 2019? We got a lot of good stuff coming up on the channel, guys. So do me a favor, make sure you keep it locked in. On Sunday, immediately after WWE TLC, I should have another review going up right away. And you guys can come right in here. I'll have the chat set up the exact same way. We'll talk. I could probably stay on that one a little bit longer because I don't have to work the next day. But I hope you guys enjoyed this Ring of Honor Final Battle review. Thank you everyone who took time out to watch. Shout out to NOE Lara and KC Classic 7 for joining the chat, talking a little bit of pro wrestling with me. I'm out, guys. Peace.